sorry.
Alright guys, so we get Russ's new album, Shake the Snowglobe, January 31st. It has 14 songs and it runs for 44 minutes. The album cover is pretty interesting. It's three snow globes, one bigger and then decreasing in size, as it protrudes further and further away into the horizon. The album cover was made by the same artist who did his other album Zoo and There's Really a Wolf. His name is Kid Super. But overall, if you look at it, there's a variety of different things at play in here. First, the concept of shaking the snow globe is basically taking control of one's own destiny and shaking things up, being the driving force behind what ultimately shapes your life. And then if you look at the cover art as well, it's like it looks like a signal being broadcast, and then at the peak is like energy radiating as well. So I thought that was a pretty interesting optical illusion, and it's also like you're taking a walk through the wormhole, if you will. But other than that, let's move into the singles. We get track 6, Nighttime Interlude. We get track 13, Civil War. And we get track 14, Best on Earth, featuring BIA. Highlights for this album are the standouts. We get track 1, Need a Minute. On this record, Russ takes the time to reflect upon his come up. We get track 2, Guess What, featuring Rick Ross. On this record, Russ and Ross trade bars, emphasizing the luxuries of a successful career. And then we get track 3, A Lot More. On this record, he says, I give everyone my all. It's time I focus on me. So right here in this track, he's been doing so much for everyone that he's not taking the time to focus on himself and do things for himself. So right here, he's taking time for himself. He says, so my house a resort, I got robes and maids, I got wives for nights, and I got hoes for days. That's funny. And then he says, a lot of souls to save, a lot of minds to free. So right here, I think this line is speaking to him from time to time dropping jewels about the music industry and how he maneuvered his way through it. So I think that's what that line right there is. Because, in the music industry, you sign these record deals, and in a sense, you lose yourself, you lose your soul, you sell your soul. So he says, I got lots of souls to save. So he's basically looking at like his advice is like him taking a preemptive measure of saving, artists or souls from being involved in something that they don't have to. Lots of minds to free. I'm talking people off the ledge. Shit, this bigger than me. So yeah, once again, he feels as though him giving this advice is bigger than him, which it is. Giving artists the knowledge, to make decisions, informative decisions is important. And then he says, put my mama on the beach. My bucket list is complete. So in several interviews, he talks about his rough upbringing, and how once he obtains success, his dad gets jealous and gets mad that he's unable to be the one to provide for the family, and that he has to see his son do it instead of him. So it kind of eats at his ego. And then he talks about how he's always wanted to be the one to provide for his mother and get her the house of her dreams. And then he's shown videos of surprising her with different homes. So this is him talking about that in this record right here. Then he says, aside from trophies that I really can't control if I reach. So right here, he's saying in one vein, his bucket list was, taking care of his mother. And then also on his bucket list is to, be recognized for his artwork and talent. But he says, even if he reached out, for that recognition, is not something he can control, because that recognition is in the hands of a select group of other people who, make these decisions based on, their own agendas and whatnot, as we see with award shows like the Grammys and whatnot. Then he says, damn, I think I finally understand why they hating it. They mad that I beat the fucking game without playing it. So right here, he's speaking to not being confined within in the industry, basically being an independent artist and doing it his way, grinding. And basically he surpassed a lot of people that went the route of signing with a label and, ultimately not blowing up how they thought they would. So he said right here, they mad that they had a head start, but ultimately he caught up and surpassed him. So I thought that record was pretty dope. And then we have track 4, Can't Go On. On this record, Russ is fed up with the woman he's talking to and her overbearing ways. This is a consistent theme within his music, and in general, how he says that he can't really do relationships because he puts so much time into his music and his craft, and then when he does have the time for that, oftentimes the women do things that kind of puts him off of the relationship. So this is something we see throughout this album, him talking about different relationships and whatnot. And then we have track 8, Shots. I thought this track particular was very revealing, and it revealed some information that I'm not sure many people knew about. So on his record, he reveals basically that he got shot around the time of his album Zoo. And on the record, he says, I thought I was going to die around the time that I made Zoo. It's true. Yeah, I kept a smile plastered. Let's switch shoes, me and you. We gonna see who runs a mile faster. I bet it's me. You would think I'm selling dog food, how they jealous of my pedigree. They shot me. I ain't rest in peace. I'm still standing. Yeah, so I don't know the specifics behind that situation, but basically he's saying that during that time he got shot, but I'm guessing, to save face for, the media, he kept a smile plastered, even though deep inside he was hurting from that ordeal. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty traumatizing to go through something like that. He's saying, put yourselves in his position. We're going to see who runs a mile faster. I bet it's me. Basically, he's saying that, I think in that situation, basically saying that both people will want to get away from that situation, but he would want to get away from that situation more, I'm guessing. And then there was a clever little bar right there with the dog food and pedigree, because pedigree is a brand of dog food, the yellow and blue box or packaging or whatever. Then he says, they shot me. I ain't rest in peace. I'm still standing. Yeah. So even though he went through that whole ordeal, he's still here and he's still standing strong. So that was I thought that was a pretty standout record, because that's something I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know about. So, and then we get track 14, Best on Earth, featuring BIA. This is one of 3 singles on this record. Russ is basically pussy whipped, and both artists, they trade sexual innuendos in regards to their respective partners. So I also thought the song was pretty dope too. And the chick BIA, she kind of sounds like Rihanna, which is interesting. And Rihanna kind of like gave a co-sign for the record as well. But anyways, moving on into the sleepers, we get track 6, Nighttime Interlude. This is also a single as well. We have track 7, All to You, featuring Kiana or Lede. We have track 11, Foot on the Gas, featuring Devin and Dude. And then we have track 12, Mama. This record was pretty interesting too. It's kind of like a tribute in a sense to her. But on his record, he says, I'm well protected, well dressed, well invested, with a classic debut. That's why I still rock the necklace. Yeah. Still fuck my ex bitch. Don't worry, it be random. I can't help it, dog. Pussy hits different in the mansion. I thought that line was pretty funny. Because it's like, even though he's not with this person, he still goes back to that well for more water. Because he said pussy hits different in the mansion. When I heard that, that line was pretty funny. But besides that verse, he's basically paying tribute to his mother. You know, talking about the good and the bad times. So yeah, but moving on from that, skips, we get track 5, Asshole, featuring Bugus or Bugus, which is one of his close friends. And then we get track 10, I Thought You Got Me, featuring Benny the Butcher of Griselda. My personal favorites are track 1, Need a Minute, Guess What, A Lot More, Can't Go On, Patience, and Mama. Personally, on the track Patience, the production was amazing on this record. And then moving into the features, we got Rick Ross, Bugus, Kiana, Lede, Benny the Butcher, Devin the Dude, BIA. And my overall conclusion, it was a pretty solid project. I know he has a pretty interesting fascination with Rihanna, because throughout the record we get many different references or homages paid to her. On one record, he has his "you ooh ooh" line, which interprets "Man Down" by Rihanna. On track 20, I mean not track 24, on track on a Civil War record, he interpolates "Work" by Rihanna. And then he has the line, "Tatted like Rihanna, pussy singing like it's run to town." That's another reference he make, and that's on the track with BIA. And overall, the album had pretty great production. On Guess What, it has like a funk type of vibe. Patience is like a slow down melodic beat. So overall, I was pretty impressed, and I gave the album a 12 out of 14, which comes out to an 85%. So overall, he had a pretty dope album. I'm expecting it, you know, to do well, to stream well. But anyways, guys, that's gonna pretty much do it for my review of this album. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I also want to hear what you guys have to say about the album, what you liked about the album, what you didn't like. So comment below in regards to how you felt about the album, and also give me feedback about my review, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. And until the next video, peace.